Sure. Here's a funny little story about a cat and a rat. The Great Cheese Heist. Once upon a time, in a small, cozy kitchen, there lived a clever rat named Remy. Remy was no ordinary rat. He was a cheese connoisseur. He had a particular fondness for the fancy imported Swiss cheese that the human homeowner kept in the fridge. But there was one problem: a lazy, yet cunning cat named Whiskers. Whiskers spent most of his days napping on the windowsill, pretending not to notice Remy's tiny footsteps. But in reality, Whiskers was always plotting. He thought catching Remy would be the ultimate trophy to prove he wasn't just a lazy furball, as the dog next door liked to call him. One day, Remy decided it was time for the heist of the century. He had been eyeing a particularly large wheel of Swiss cheese in the fridge for weeks. He waited until the humans were out of the house, and Whiskers was asleep, or so he thought. With a tiny backpack and a makeshift grappling hook made of dental floss, Remy set off. As Remy tiptoed past Whiskers, the cat's ear twitched. Whiskers was wide awake and ready to pounce. But just as he was about to leap, Remy shouted, "Wait! Before you eat me, have you ever tried real Swiss cheese?" Whiskers paused mid-pounce. "What are you talking about, rodent?" Remy smirked. "The cheese in the fridge is fake. It's just cheap cheddar with holes poked in it. But I know where the real Swiss cheese is hidden. Help me, and I'll share it with you." Whiskers, intrigued and slightly embarrassed he'd been fooled by fake cheese, agreed. The two unlikely partners worked together to open the fridge. Remy used his grappling hook to climb up, while Whiskers used his paw to press the fridge door handle. Inside, they found not just the Swiss cheese, but also a stash of gourmet treats the humans had been hiding. As they feasted together, Whiskers mumbled through a mouthful of cheese, "You know, Remy, you're not so bad for a rat." Remy grinned, "And you're not so bad for a cat. But if you ever try to eat me again, I'll tell the dog where you hide your catnip." From that day on, the two became an unstoppable duo, pulling off heists for snacks all over the house. And the dog next door? He never did figure out why the cat and rat were always laughing together. The end.